$460 million. Gone. In 45 minutes. No hack, no crime, no rogue trader. Just one server that nobody checked. This is the story Wall Street would rather you forget. August 1st, 2012. The opening bell rings at the New York Stock Exchange. Inside Knight Capital, CEO Thomas Joyce expects another routine summer session. His firm is one of the most powerful market makers in America. According to the SEC, Knight's trading generally represented about 10% of all listed U.S. equity trading. 1 in every 10 shares, every single day. But this morning, something is wrong. The screens are lighting up with trades that make no sense. Knight's automated router is flooding the market with orders it never meant to send, buying stocks aggressively, then dumping them back out at worse prices seconds later. $10 million a minute, exposed. And the terrifying part is this. There was no cyber attack, no foreign adversary, no master criminal. What killed Knight Capital was much more frightening than a hack, because it was ordinary. A deployment mistake, a piece of dead code, and a market fast enough to turn a software glitch into a death sentence. At the center of the disaster was Knight's order router, a system called SMARS. Its job sounded simple: take incoming customer orders, split them into smaller pieces, and fire them out to exchanges at machine speed. On a normal day, that automation looks like precision. On the wrong day, it becomes a weapon pointed at your own balance sheet. In late July, Knight was preparing for a new NYSE program. The firm developed new code and deployed it across 8 servers. 7 servers received the update correctly. 1 did not. According to the SEC, 1 technician failed to copy the new code to one of the 8 servers. Knight did not require a second technician to verify the deployment. That missed server still contained an old function called PowerPeg. PowerPeg had been discontinued years earlier, but it was never actually removed. It was still sitting there, dormant and callable, like a buried mine that everyone forgot was still wired into the foundation. And here is where the engineering failure turns into something worse. Back in 2005, Knight had moved a critical piece of logic, the cumulative quantity function, outside of PowerPeg. That function was the part that counted shares already executed and told the router when to stop. After moving it, Knight never retested the old code, so if PowerPeg ever woke up again, it would not know when to stop sending orders. On August 1st, it woke up. The new program code reused a flag that had once activated PowerPeg. On 7 servers, the flag worked correctly. On the 8th server, the same flag reached back into the past and triggered the old logic. And Knight had one last chance to catch it. Beginning just after 8 in the morning, the firm's systems generated 97 automated emails warning about SMARS errors, 97 warnings before the market opened. But those messages were not treated as critical alerts. Personnel did not review them. The opening bell rang anyway. At 9:30, the damage began immediately. The 7 updated servers processed orders correctly. The 8th did not. It started firing child orders into the market again and again, with no function telling it when to stop. $10 million a minute, exposed. The SEC's numbers are staggering. In roughly 45 minutes, while processing just 212 incoming parent orders, Knight's router generated more than 4 million child orders in 154 stocks. The firm accumulated an unintended long position of about $3.5 billion and a short position of about $3.15 billion. This was not a bad trading day. This was a machine manufacturing exposure faster than any human could react, and the attempted fix made it worse. While Knight's team scrambled to diagnose the problem, they uninstalled the new code from the 7 servers where it had actually been working. According to the SEC, that action caused additional orders to activate PowerPeg on those servers too. A 1-server problem became a system-wide acceleration of the same mistake. By the time Knight stopped the bleeding, the firm had lost more than $460 million. In 37 stocks, the price moved more than 10%, and Knight's erroneous trades represented more than half the volume. A bug did not just hit one company ledger, it moved real prices in the public market, $10 million a minute, for 45 minutes. Thomas Joyce went on CNBC that afternoon, visibly shaken, insisting Knight would survive. But the math was brutal. The firm had just lost more than its entire market capitalization in a single morning. Within days, Knight was forced into an emergency rescue. Within months, it was acquired by a competitor. No hacker stormed the gates. No exotic conspiracy. 1 missed server, 1 dormant function, and 1 market open were enough. And here is what Wall Street does not like to talk about. Knight Capital was not some garage startup running untested scripts. This was a firm at the heart of market infrastructure, and it collapsed because basic controls failed in sequence. Old code left in production. A deployment with no verification. Warning emails ignored. Incident response improvised under live fire. Each failure sounds survivable alone. Together, they were fatal. The SEC fined Knight, regulations tightened slightly, and then the industry moved on, because moving on is what Wall Street does. But the architecture underneath has not fundamentally changed. Markets still run on software stacks, deployment routines, reused flags, and legacy functions that nobody fully remembers. The speed has only increased. The complexity has only grown. Knight Capital lost $460 million before lunch on a Wednesday in August. And if one broken deployment could do that to a firm handling a tenth of US equity trading, the uncomfortable question is obvious. How many other dormant failures are still sitting inside the machinery of modern finance, just waiting for the right flag to wake them up?